Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the psychological interpretation of the election of 2016. And we have to talk about a psychological interpretation of the election of 2016, Dr. CPoe4. And of course, Dr. Poe, let me welcome you to the show and to have you to give us some information in reference to your background, your education, and some of your experiences. And as we know, you are no stranger to this show. All of our members of our audience know you, but at the same time, I think that being able to talk about a psychological interpretation of the election of 2016 sort of gives us a different insight into what is going on in reference to the election. We're not predicting any winners or losers or anything like that, but the idea is to, it's such an unusual kind of election, you see, and so we're concerned about, from a psychological point of view, how does this work out? And so let's talk about it from that perspective today.
Okay. I first came to Nashville in 1956 to attend Tennessee State University. I finished in 1960. I went to Meharry Medical College, graduated from Meharry in 1964, did an internship in Chicago for a year, 64, 65, was drafted into the Army, spent 6 months in Korea, and the rest of that time in Denver, Colorado. And I eventually came back to Nashville in 1976 after doing a residency in psychiatry in California, Berkeley, California, between 1967 and 1970.
Mm-hmm. And so in a real sense, you are prepared in a real sense in terms of being able to understand the workings of the mind and certain things that are associated with it to talk about the election of 2016. Let's do it from your perspective.
Okay. Well, I've made some efforts to understand human behavior, and I'm still a student when it comes to human behavior. I'm also an assistant pastor of a church in Laverne, Tennessee, called Christ Miracle Chapel. Most of the members are from Africa, primarily Nigeria, 5 other countries in Africa, Haiti, and the U.S. We're a non-denominational fellowship. But anyway, in terms of the election, I'm really taken aback. I'm not quite sure I understand why there's so much hostility towards Secretary Clinton. Based on her history, she's been very careful to reach out to help children. She's also done quite a bit to help women. She also tried to develop she pushed for medical care for quite a few people. And so it's difficult for me to understand why there's so much hostility towards her. Of course, now she acknowledges that it was an unwise decision that she used her browser to receive information, some of which might have been classified. So it's difficult, Dr. Haney, for me to understand why there's so much resentment towards her, and why so many people see her as highly untrustworthy. On the other hand, Mr. Trump, it's understandable that people would have some problems with him, and that's primarily because, for one, you recall he denied that he was aware of David Duke, who was head of the Ku Klux Klan in Louisiana. He also made fun of the New York Times columnist, made fun of his neuromuscular disability that he was born with. Also, it's fairly well documented his hostility towards females, and also the idea that President Obama and Secretary Clinton is the source of ISIS. That they founded ISIS, and then he comes back and says that he was just being sarcastic. it's very difficult to understand where he would be coming from. But I do have a perspective on where he may be coming from.
Very good. And so what we'll do, we'll take our first commercial break. You see, I think this 6-minute segment, we'll take our first commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll allow you to further deal with this as an issue this morning. And I think that what you're giving us now and is exactly what we're looking for. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Yeah, that's what, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's my.
Okay.
You know, I mean, he just. I don't think he would. I think he might like the excitement. He liked the campaign and do all of that. But in terms of being elected and going to the White House and sitting in the White House and doing the things that I don't think he would want to do anything like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, so and so that's essentially what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
You know, just that. I mean, somebody to give us some kind of understanding. You know, from a psychological point of view in terms of what's going on. Because I've got my own points of view, and my point of view is that this man don't want to be president of the United States.